Evin Shutt, Global CEO at 72 and Sunny. Welcome to the Sunnyside series. We're coming to you live from Stagwell's Sport Beach at Cannes, where we're celebrating the intersection of sport, culture, and fandom. I am thrilled to be here right now with Lauren Carlini and Jordan Thompson, founding Love Volleyball athletes, League One volleyball. Pro volleyball is alive and well in the United States. It's so exciting. Let's start first with, you're in Cannes. This is your first time here. What excites you most to be here?
I know JT just arrived a couple minutes ago, so she's already seeing the flurry of activity, and it's been really great just to be around other high-level athletes, CMOs, huge brands and companies that are wanting to get into the athletic space. And so for me, it's really cool just to be able to kind of present volleyball and be here and be an ambassador for Love, which we wholeheartedly believe in and just finished our season 1. So it's been a really cool opportunity and looking forward to what the next couple days bring.
Yeah. Echoing off of Lauren, I think it's just an amazing opportunity. This is our first time here, and so, this is an amazing experience not only for ourselves, but also to just represent Love, like Lauren was saying, and just really excited.
It's really cool.
Very well put, Lauren.
Thank you.
Well, obviously, volleyball has huge momentum. I think it's the #1 sport for participation among young girls in North America. There is no men's league. Although boys are growing, that they're trying to get off the ground.
Sure.
That's fine. We'll let them do that. They can follow your lead.
They'll get there.
Why do you think now is the moment? What do you think is triggering this, and what excites you about it?
I think you're seeing a huge push in women's sports and a lot of development in the recent years. You look at the WNBA and the NWSL, and just women's sports as a whole is just exploding right now. And it's really interesting because volleyball, like you said, is the most played sport for young girls in the United States, but we didn't have a professional league. And so it's massive overseas. We were going overseas and playing there, keeping our careers alive and well over there. But to be able to bring volleyball back home to the US has been so exciting. And I think it's the perfect time just with the environment that we have with women's sports.
Adding to that too, I think just the fan engagement, right? And the ability to make those connections from youth to pro, I think that's what really differentiates us in Love. Being able to tell our stories as athletes. We're not irrelevant now. When we go overseas, we just become obsolete. Honestly, it's out of sight, out of mind. And so now being back in the States and being on home soil in a lot of our hometowns, it's first off amazing to see our family and friends in the stands, but more so just to see all these young girls who are getting to now watch professional volleyball and right in front of them.
It's so awesome, and what an amazing first season. Congrats to you
Thanks.
both, and what a monumental moment to be able to play at home and close to home or close to where you went to college. I love that setup, but tell me more about what the first season was like.
The first season was a whirlwind. I know they had a little bit smoother ride than we did. Love Madison came out hot, losing 7 or 8 in a row. And then March Madness happened, and we won 7 or 8 in a row. And so to still have the support of course, all the Madison fans, it got bigger, actually, as the weeks went on. And just hearing the buzz, even walking through Costco and Target, being stopped, and everyone's like, we got season tickets, we're so excited. And just feeling that tangible in the community is what kept us going. And so the season was awesome. Of course, a roller coaster, right, of wins and losses and emotions, but I would not have had it any other way.
I love to see the college traditions coming alive, like the blocks counter that is popular at the University of Wisconsin when volleyball plays, and that they brought that to Love. That was really cool.
Absolutely. It's letting the community and the fans have a say in their team, and being connected and feeling that, I think, is really huge to continue the growth.
Yeah, and I think, we've been building this league for the past several years, and so, we signed on as founding athletes a few years ago, and so to see the fan base that we already have was really cool. I remember the first game, we had an H-Town cheer going, and I'm like, I feel like these fans have been here for years. It was so cool, and it made me so excited, and it felt so special because I was like, they're at the beginning of this with us, but they're so excited, like they've been building right alongside us the entire time.
Yeah, well, and I think even the play, you can see it's the best league in the world in so many ways. You have the best players. And I remember talking to Kelly at the Wisconsin match, and he's like, and every player cares about every match and wants to win, which speaks to you all as competitors and what's so important. And I also think why people were attracted to tune in, because it was the best that you could get, and everyone was out there playing. Unlike some other sports where maybe the first 3 quarters aren't quite as intense as the fourth quarter, right? That will go unnamed. But you mentioned the women's sports movement. I'm going to call it. It's not a moment. We're in a movement. It's going to keep going. A lot of it comes from female athletes telling their own stories on social and building that. And so I'd love to hear both of you talk a little bit about how you think about that and how you think about brands that you would want to partner with and consider them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lauren kind of touched on this before. Something that I'm really passionate about and that Love does a really good job is giving us the opportunity to connect with the younger generation and build those relationships. And it's not just going overseas for 8 months and then coming back and, you know, maybe they see us every 4 years on TV during the Olympics, but we're able to have the opportunity to go to their practices, mentor them, you know, be a voice of wisdom and, you know, an ear to listen. And so I think to have different brands and different partnerships that continue to pour into just the entire, I guess, like the grassroots of volleyball and connecting and making those bridges, I think is something that I'm really passionate about and really excited to continue.
Yeah. I think for us, we were both able to do Undeterred, actually, which is basically us being able to tell our stories throughout several Olympic cycles and just how they differ even between us two, who ultimately had the same end result. And I think that is what brands are looking for, unique stories to be able to showcase and really show who we are, not just as players, but as humans off the court. I think there is so much power behind that. And I mean, even just watching JT's and Kelsey's, I know them pretty well, and just to hear their stories through different words, a different lens, it's so impactful and so powerful. So it was amazing to be able to do that.
It is the important part of this, is the connection that people feel, and they feel like they can see themselves, or they're inspired by your journey, and okay, I can do it too, or I want to be your fan then, right? And support you even if I'm not in Houston or I'm not in Madison. Yes. Are there any brands that you'd love to partner with, or categories?
That's a great question.
I know. I feel like, honestly, my biggest thing, I've always wanted to be in the ESPN body issue. I think it's so powerful to be able to see people at their best, athletes at their best, and it's an art, truly. So I know that one's always been on my 16-year-old bucket list when I first saw that. Don't know if that's weird, but I just think it's so powerful and art-filled, a way of showcasing athletes. So. Of course, there's so skincare brands, hair care, you name it. Gorjana's amazing. I just think there's so many opportunities for brands and us to be able to reach out to them and vice versa, and really get those opportunities.
I love also just the different fashion brands and, you know, seeing, I think, athletes, you see the tunnel walks. We had our tunnel walks, and we're partnering with Revolve. And so I think that was really cool because you get to see, again, the different personalities and just who we are as people coming out and shining. And then it's, you know, we're going out to the court after and we're all in the same uniform, but before you get to see people's personalities. And I think for me, that's just, I'm really exploring that for myself.
I love that.
I'm trying to be a fashionista, okay?
Girl, get it, yes.
All right. I mean, this is the time, and they're here, so let's talk.
I know. I'm overwhelmed even thinking about it. I was going
people.
Through the whole cast list of everywhere, and I'm like, I know all of those companies somehow. Yeah. Unreal. Really cool opportunity.
That's awesome. What are you most excited about in season 2?
I think just seeing the fan base continue to grow, both in person, right? We want people in those seats cheering us on every single night, and also just through social and outreach. Being able to go do events and go do camps and interact with the young ones is so important to all of us, especially as founding athletes. So looking forward to more fan engagement in general, both on and off the court and through social.
I was going to say the same thing, but since you stole it.
Copy paste, sorry.
I'm so freaking pumped about the players that we've signed so far for season 2.
Yeah.
We are continuing to grow and get some of the best players in the world, and we'll have conversations with people that we've played with overseas, and they're like, I want to come play in the States. I want to come do that soon. And so I think the buzz around it and the excitement that you feel, and now to see those players coming and playing in Love, it makes me so excited because it's just going to continue to raise the level. So I can't wait to just compete.
I love it. It's so exciting. And season 2 starts in
January 2026.
Right? Okay, January 2026. All right, last thing, as a mother of 12-year-olds who play volleyball, what advice would you give? There's a lot of volleyball parents here, as you've met walking through. They can't walk through Sport Beach without being stopped by a volleyball dad or mom. But what advice do you have for young athletes?
I think for me, it's go out there and have fun and dream big. You never know what can happen, right? And the possibilities. And especially now, being a girl or a woman in sport is such a powerful opportunity. And the roadmap is starting to be laid out. So go out there, have fun, work hard. And even if volleyball isn't your main thing, find what you're passionate about and follow that. Because I know for us, at the end of the day, it doesn't feel like a job. We're just going out there and we get to play a game for a living.
Yeah. And be a sponge. I like to say be a sponge. Like, soak in all the experiences. Like Lauren was saying, volleyball doesn't have to be your main thing. You don't have to aspire to be a professional volleyball player. But I think the lessons that you learned through sport are so impactful, and lessons that you carry on the rest of your life. And I think there's so many different times, whether it's coaches, parents, friends, teammates, there are so many different people that continue to pour into you. And if you can soak in that information and that feedback, you're going to continue to grow not only as an athlete, but as a person. And I think that's the most important thing.
You wise woman.
So good. Feedback. Soak in the feedback. Yeah. Listen. You hear that, Gwen? Listen. Just kidding. Thank you so much for joining me at Stagwell Sport Beach for this energizing conversation. I would never say that word, but okay. Thank you so much for joining me at Sport Beach for this conversation. That's it for now. Be sure to catch up on all the action from CAN on 72 and Sunny's social channels. Thanks.